Hey guys, I'm Man Action. Bring us some more things, right? Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. In the last part, we yeah, we kind of figured out that the big ass sword with the many blades. I'm not gonna say its name because I'll just give myself a headache. It wasn't actually the murder weapon. In fact, it may be a completely different weapon entirely. And yeah, the lady Bikini is going to tell us where that weapon may be. So let's see what she has to say. I saw the murder weapon at around 11 p.m. and after asking that it be reported, I went out to the main gate. There, I saw tracks that indicated a snowmobile had been used. It takes 15 minutes to walk to the Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon into Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. Iris could have done that. She can drive a snowmobile after all. Okay, so she can. Witness, please tell us everything you know right away this next time. Well, I'm not in my best shape. What with my back and my age. I'm not saying I don't think Bikini's actively lying. I just think there are gaps in her testimony that just don't make sense. Snowball, eh? I see. Well, it certainly is an interesting theory. A game theory. The tracks. Nah, it's a it's a law theory. The tracks begin in front of Hazako Temple and run all the way to the Dusty Bridge. Okay, that solves your pesky little problem. The Eagle River's current is quite swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over all over in the winter, making it the perfect place to dispose of murder weapon. Should you really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon? Possibility. Alright. You are sure about the time? Yes, I was worried about it after all. Why was that? Because I have a strong sense of responsibility, especially at this time of year. The acolyte was being doused in freezing water at the time. I couldn't very well take it easy in the bath all night, could I? So at 11 I decided to leave Hazakura Temple. My estimation of time is reliable at least. Please continue, sister. You asked Phoenix Wright to report the crime, didn't you, correct? Right. The one who trampled me. She seems to be the type to hold a grudge. There isn't a phone in the main hall, so I sent him to the bridge. Phoenix Wright. He didn't have his cell phone on him. He had forgotten it at home, apparently. One a naive boy, as always. Not only do I always carry my phone, but I always have my whip in hand too. Anyway, I was really scared, and it was taking him a while to get back. So I thought I'd go all out by the main gate for a spell. And there I saw tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. As I recall, there was a snowmobile outside the main gate when I visited. That's it. That's the only one you have. It'll run no matter how much the snow falls. Now, you're certain the snowmobile was there at the main gate when you arrived? Yes, of course. It was parked in front of the gate. So, she had already gone, discarded the murder weapon, and returned by that time? I'm not sure if this is really relevant. Always press further. I need answers to every possible doubt. The snowmobile in question, was it still warm at the time? Huh? What do you mean, eh? What do you mean, Miles Edgeworth? I'm playing to the snow cloud here. It goes without saying that using a snowmobile will heat its engine. If it was still warm, then it means it was recently used. Ah, I see. I never thought of that. Hmm, that's right. I overlooked that too. Of course you did. Then answer the question, please, witness. I don't often go around touching hot engines. Hmm. However, now that you mention it, there wasn't any snow on it. Snow? Yes, for some reason, only the snowmobile wasn't covered in snow. There wasn't any snow on it. Curses. It seems highly likely that the killer did use the snowmobile then. Eh? How long does it take to get to Dusky Bridge by snowmobile? Okay, we had this. It takes about less than 5 on one of the snowmobiles. In that case, why didn't you use it yourself? You could have spared yourself from walking. Ah, there's a reason that. Have you got for me to explain? I think that's why the question was asked in the first place. It was about a month ago. I was driving my beloved little snowmobile, happy as can be. I pressed some water and heading back when I crashed into a tree. The tree and my back both went crunch, just like that. Crunch. Ow. I haven't been able to find the courage to write anything since then. Anyway, the killer must have been using. I've used it. Okay. Refresh our memory. How long were you knocked out for? Like I said, somewhere between 10 and 20 minutes. It's possible to get to the bridge back in 10 minutes using snowmobile. I have to concede that it's more than enough time. Is that all you wish to concede, Miles Edgeworth? Iris could have done that. She can drive a snowmobile after all. While it would have been possible time-wise, one element still remains out of place. Oh, and what would this mystery element be? The killer's reasoning, Your Honor. Why did the killer do all this? Why go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon when there are other methods? Too many unanswered questions. The response, Ms. Von Karma? Turning to me for help over the slightest thing. Why don't you think of yourself once for a while, Your Honor? What? She's as over the top as always. Anyway. Whatever the reason, the fact remains. The defendant couldn't have done this. The murder weapon was disposed of in the river. Another point to me, Mount Edgeworth. And must feed the fire. Was there any reason to throw away the weapon? Luckily, there is surely a problem with this testimony. Now all I can do is start poking holes in this flawed account. Alright. I'm just trying to have a think about and then she could have done it. It wasn't snowing. Yeah. Did we see all this? She said that. Hold on. I see another fort. I'll go around to listen for engines. There's no snow on it. She didn't add it to the testimony. She didn't add it to the testimony, did she? I don't think that's it. Maybe through it with her while I was knocked out. Oh! Oh! Oh, 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 oh no. She's got everything wrong there. She fucked up. What am I saying? She messed up. What it says, maybe they threw it. As you can see, if you look at the tracks, there are only one set of tracks. And if you look at them, it's towards the main gate, not away from it. And you can see like small little footprints as well. But the tracks themselves, if you followed them, it looks like someone was making their way to the main gate and not leaving the main gate. I made this photograph through something. Oh yeah, it was used, but not in the way you think it is. However, when the witness says true, why is there only one set of tracks? Yeah. What do you mean? Iris left Hazakura Temple, threw the weapon into the river, and then returned. If that's the case, then naturally there'd be two sets of tracks in the snow. Those from heading out to the bridge and those from coming back. Ah, you're right. Are you forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth? On the night of the murder, it was snowing. Yes, it was snowing, but it wasn't snowing at that time. That's what I was thinking about. Yeah, I was just getting my wires crossed because she's saying that it wasn't snowing. What I was thinking about looking at the weather report is, okay, so as she was talking about there was no snow on the thing, but maybe there was no snow because it wasn't snowing. That's what I was thinking, but that didn't make any sense. Because that didn't make any sense at the time because, you know, like, if it wasn't used, there wouldn't be snow on it at all. There would still be snow on it because it was snowing earlier. But the thing is, it wasn't snowing at that time the murder was committed. There's a contradiction. The tracks into the river were covered by snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, this is impossible. What would you care to explain? Why there is a rude index finger currently pointing in my general direction. No need. The evidence will do all the talking for me. On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusty Bridge. In order to dispose of the murder weapon, the outgoing tracks was erased by the snow. Or so claims Miss Von Karma. Mr. Edward, present your evidence to the contrary, eh? Evidence that the were not covered by the snow. If you look at the weather data, look at it. At what time was the murder? Between 10 to 11. There was no snow, according to this, there was no snow between 10. Well, there was, but it wasn't. Lightning struck. Wait. No. 10 to 11 there was lightning. 7 to 10 there was snow. I think I'm right. Yes, I'm right. Thank God for that. Please tell us again what time it was you witnessed the crime. Like I said, it was around 11. Yes! I was right! The time of the crime was at 11. But it wasn't snowing at that point. It is the weather report from Eagle Mountain on the night of the crime. The weather report. Okay, yes, the snow has stopped falling. It is impossible for any tracks made after that time to have been covered up. Order, order, order. Very well. It looks like Ms. Montgomery's claim has been snowed in. Nice. Nice, Judge. Nice. Simply closing the trial. The trial, you just know. Miles Edgeworth, how pathetic of you to rely on the weather of all things. Answer me this then. When is a weather report ever correct? That is actually a good question. Especially if you live in the UK. Like, you never trust the weather in the UK. Even if it says it isn't raining, look up into the sky. It's probably gonna rain. This isn't a forecast. This is actual data. Forecast data, all weather reports have some inaccuracies. It may have still been snowing in the vicinity well past 11 p.m. It's true, we cannot be totally sure, eh? What? How did she pull that off? It had stopped snowing at Hazakura Temple when the murder took place. You need to provide conclusive evidence of this. I've come this far, there's no turning back now. Very well. I too cannot allow any doubts to remain concerning this testimony. Ha! You can't back down, can you? Such a perfectionist, Miles Edgeworth. Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. Where is your evidence that had already stopped snowing when the victim was killed? Okay, what's my evidence? Already been snowing. Oh yeah. If it was snowing, still, she would have been covered in snow. Ultimately, it all comes down to one point. That being, whether or not it was snowing in that courtyard when the victim was stabbed. That's right, but proving that is incredibly easy. If you want to know whether or not it was snowing, this photo will tell us everything. Of course, I'm referring to the photo of the crime scene. As you can see, everything is covered with snow, with just one exception: the body. The victim herself is at least doing him. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It has stopped snowing when she was killed. That's why. In other words, if the killer really did go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon, then in this photograph there should be two sets of tracks. Order, order. Just what are you suggesting, Miles Edgeworth? To be honest, I'm not entirely sure myself, but this is simply what all the facts point to. That night, someone used the snowmobile to leave Hazakura Temple. When the tracks left, it can be understood that they were heading to Justin Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing. Of course it was, because the tracks were gone. But then, when the person returned to Hazakura Temple... Okay, so I was kind of wrong. No, I was right. The return tracks remained. Yeah, I was right about the return tracks. But I didn't know they had left while it was still snowing, so... Can I say something? This all sounds a bit fishy to me. What does sister? There's only one key for the snowmobile. Furthermore, on the night in question, we know the defendant had it. The key was found in her room after the murder, which can only mean that night, Iris used the snowmobile to go to the inner temple, but Iris said she never went there. I should probably pass on this point some more when I get a chance. The snowmobile can't cross the suspension bridge, so she must have left it on the Hazakura side of the bridge and crossed on foot. That sounds right. But what's odd is when I left Iris and returned to the Hazakura temple, she didn't see it. You must have just failed to see it, sister. Maybe, but when I made it back to Hazakura's temple, the snowmobile was there, by the main gate. Snowmobile, I mean. I know what I saw. It was covered in snow too. But that isn't possible. I'm so confused. I don't know what's going on. Order. What does it all mean? So then, what was the snowmobile used for? It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to the inner temple. If it had been, then the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by the gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. If that was the case, there would have been two sets of tracks in this photo. All we know is, after it stopped snowing, somebody used the snowmobile to return to Hazakura Temple. I never thought a simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble. I think we've arrived at this point due to the witness. Yes, it's nothing more. There's nothing more I can add. I've told you everything that I know. Well then, that still leaves us with the same problem. If only there was someone, a witness who could testify to have seen the snowmobile. A witness, huh? Was there no one out walking, perhaps near the bridge on that night? I don't think that's likely. It was cold enough to freeze your ears off. Only an idiot would go wandering in that, unless they had something really important to do. That's a shame. Hold on. Something's coming to me. An idiot may well have gone wandering out on that subarctic night. Your Honor, I actually have an idea. There may be one individual able to help us. Really? You know someone who might have seen the snowmobile on the night of the murder. I don't know for sure if he saw it or not, but there are two things about him that do come to mind, which are, first, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder, and the second being, this individual that I'm thinking of when wandering outside on that cold night. In other words, he's a kind of an idiot. There's only one guy I'll be thinking of. When something smells, say it with me now. When something smells, it usually always is the butts. This guy must be a project of Jean-Luc Deladuc's Guide of Obnoxious Front Painting. This is Larry Butts, the student of the victim, at least do name. A student? Interesting. Why was he wandering on the night of the murder? That's... I could tell them all about his designs for Iris, but it may cost his credibility as a witness before I can even call him. He is, after all, a nice artist. He was perhaps searching for something in this snowy scenery that would move him. Although I cannot guarantee that this is the reason. And so, this unfortunate, unreliable-looking man, what exactly was it that he saw? I intend to extract that from him right here in his courtroom. Summon this youth as a witness immediately. I have no choice, do I? I believe he is in the gallery for this trial. It will not take long to summon him. Very well. Larry! He may have escaped me yesterday, but today I'm going to get everything out of you. The court will now adjourn for a 20-minute break. Mr. Montgomery, please see to preparing the next witness. Understood, Your Honor. Good. Well then, court is now in recess. And we will, of course, also be in recess for the next part, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you guys for watching. Man, that was an interesting. We found out a lot of stuff. Now we have to know what Larry knows about the snowmobile. So yeah, it's definitely heating up. Definitely heating up. There's a lot about this case that just this is whatever really happened is gonna be. It's gotta be crazy, right? Because there's just a lot of stuff about this entire case that just doesn't seem quite right. But we'll see later on. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did enjoy, and of course subscribe for more. And I'll see you guys later for some more Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. Peace.